'cause you were horny? Hello Aromas, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to our life. We're here with the final ending of the summer situation after being confessed to. But with you by his side, it continued forward. You could feel eyes on you as you took your place at the table. They didn't wait long to start asking if you were alright and what had happened. It didn't help that Cove's face flushed immediately over the attention. You fixated on the Cove, becoming increasingly flustered by the comments. A chuckle escaped your lips, and you couldn't bring your hands to cover your mouth fast enough. Cove shot you a pleading look, but there was no stopping your giggles now. He was too precious. Cove stilled his nerves and faced the small crowd. Well, the truth is, Michiko and I are... Grins were already beginning to appear on the table before he could muster the full explanation. He swallowed hard, stealing a glance at you. A couple now. We're dating. Though, haven't gone on a date yet, exactly. It's just, I'm her boyfriend. So yeah. Cove stopped his rambling there with wide eyes. He waited tensely for a response. Mr. Holden was first to react, instantly slapping a hand over Cove's shoulder. His other hand smacked against his own chest over his heart. You did it! That's amazing, Cove. Michiko, if you need anything, I'm here. Don't hesitate to come to me for help. What help?
Well...
Son, I'm happy for you and Michiko, of course. Just take care of yourselves. This is either heading towards the breakup of a lifetime or a wedding. Wow, you're already mentioning breakup! And I will be there for either.
Oh my god.
Dad! Cove covered the side of his head that was facing Mr. Holden with a hand and sunk lower in his chair in some desperate attempt to put distance between himself and his father's words. Meanwhile, the women in your family all burst into laughter. Pull back on those reins a little there, Cliff. They're not ones to rush, obviously. It took them a decade to reach boyfriend and girlfriend status.
Don't worry about it.
I don't think we need to look forward. I don't think we need to start looking at venues yet. Exactly, this is wonderful news, and all we need to do is congratulate them on it. Michiko, Cove, I'm so glad for you both. I know you'll be happy together. We're rooting for you. Yeah. Oh, Lee is so cute. Yes, we are. This is so exciting, and you're... But Derek! Sorry, Derek. I knew you were meant for each other. Derek and Baxter, right? Well, I called this one. I called it years ago. I should have made a real bet with someone, though I don't think anyone would have been dense enough to bet against it. Derek. Cove let himself fall forward, sticking himself to the table's surface. There was no way getting away from this. You were entirely through with your relationship and the support for it. You joined in the laughter, your spirits were high, but you felt a little bad for Cove. You couldn't believe how embarrassing this was. You wished they hadn't made a scene at the restaurant. No, I'm entirely thrilled. This was one of the best days of your life, bar none. Once the wave of family teasing and cooing passed, you were able to feel grateful for both families' encouragement. It made you happy knowing just how loved you were. Night fell soon after everyone finished their meals, and before you knew it, you were standing in the parking lot, saying your goodbyes and packing up the cars to go home. After the last of the chores were done, your family spent some more time together. The rest of the night felt like it was going by in a blink of an eye, and somehow time came to retire to your room to sleep. You pulled your covers up and... I have a feeling you might come back. Covers up under your chin and settled down for the night, getting warm and cozy. As your head sank in your pillow and you closed your eyes, your mind drifted back to everything that had happened that day. You could see it all now, behind your eyelids, as though you were experiencing it all over again. And then the image of Cove popped into your head and you smiled softly to yourself. You decided to send him a text or chat. You texted him to come over. You wanted to sneak out to his room. You were feeling tired. No, what? I could sneak out to his room? We've never done that. Let's do that. Can we do that? If Code could do it, then you didn't see why you shouldn't be allowed to. You made up your mind. What if we both were like halfway going to see each other? As quietly as you could manage, you put on your shoes and slipped out of your room, closing the door behind you softly. Heading slowly down, you took care not to make the floor creak, especially the boards right by the bathroom. Those definitely squeaked. The stillness of the night made even the slightest sound seem so much louder to your ears, and you were very aware of your mom sleeping nearby. Upon reaching the bottom, you tiptoed towards the front door. Slipping out into the crisp air, you shut the door and took a relieving breath. Excitement rising, you dashed across the street towards Ko's house. The road too was surreal at this hour, familiar and yet strange. It might have been eerie at another time, but with how eager you were, you hardly cared. You attempted to find your way to the normal footpath to the side of the condo, but the limited light was making it difficult. You knew for sure which window was Ko's, and lucky for you, it was on the first floor. Unlike Cove, you wouldn't have to do any building scaling. All you needed to do now was to make it safely over the fence and past the bushes without being caught or injured. Sneaking closer, you glanced over the hedges towards Code's bedroom window, finding it cracked open. Perfect! You wouldn't have to knock and worry about him not answering. Oh, this could go bad, actually. What if he's busy doing something? Hoisting yourself up with ease, you cleared the fence and avoided the shrubs and darted over to the window. You buzzed with a nervous excitement as you approached it in the dark, having successfully made it all the way here unseen. Lifting the window up so it was fully open, you pushed yourself halfway through, your legs dangling to the underbrush below. It was a little awkward as the small shelf was right in the way. You had to take care not to knock over a couple of plants, but you made it through with minimal noise. Oh, it's so cute in here. Still see that sand here? But like, wasn't the tank over here at one point? And he moved it over? Oh, the big fish is dead! Where's Sunshine? Once safely inside, you dusted yourself off and turned back to close the window gently, with only the soft glow of moonlight and Co's fish tank there to see the way. You gave a small wave to the special fish you got to name Sunshine. Where is Sunshine? I don't see Sunshine. Then, straining your eyes through the dark, you crept towards Co's bed, barely making out the sleeping figure beneath the covers. Oh, he's asleep. The fuck? Already? Well, that sounds of it. Well, technically, I don't know how long she stayed up, so technically he could still be asleep. But that sounds of his soft breathing, you could tell that he hadn't heard you come in, and a small smile tugged at your lips. You started him with a loud noise. You poked him until he woke up. You nudged him gently. You whispered his name. You sat down on top of him. You left him to sleep and sat beside him. Sitting on him randomly will fucking make him scared, right? Can we whisper his name? We could pretend to be a ghost. Just whispering his name. Cove. You figured he must be in deep sleep as he continued snoozing away. Positioning your lips beside his ears, you tried again. Cove? Wake up. This time he sleepily blinked his eyes and mumbled something incoherent beneath his breath. Hey, I wanted to come over. Is that alright? He let a yawn and rolled towards you, waking up just enough to understand the question, but not the full context. A faint smile appeared on his face. Yeah, I want you here. He reached for you, his arms wrapping around your neck as he pulled you towards him. When your foreheads touched, he gave a satisfied sigh. Then, as if totally unaware of what he had done, he started dozing off again. He's half asleep! You snickered quietly to yourself as you sat there. You could figure it out on his own. And after a few more seconds, he did. Wait, Chico? Yes? Do you need something? He shuffled under the covers and sat up to stare at you in alarm.
What?
Why are you in my room? What happened? A smile slipped onto your face as you finally registered your presence for real. I didn't want to be alone. I was bored. You hugged him. You I could just kiss him. Oh, we could just kiss him. I'm sure he'll understand. I'm sure he'll understand. He just like shook. Clutching the front of his shirt, you gently pulled him towards you and met his lips with your own. He kissed you back softly before pulling back too quickly. Looking a little flustered. Was that the whole reason? Yeah, because you know, we'll never have this moment ever again where we could just see each other across the street. He hesitated before whispering the next part embarrassingly. What? Cole, what the fuck? Because you were horny? Hey, listen. No! What? What? Being needy and being horny are two different things, Cove. It's not the only reason. No. Yes? Is that a bad reason? It's not the only reason you... Listen here. It's not the only reason. He gave a small sigh, but it held a great deal of affection. I should have known you'd do this one of these days. It's only fair. Yeah, you've been coming to visit me at night all the time randomly. Now it's my turn, and I just realized these are his bracelets over here. This guy just called us out saying it's because we're horny. No, it's because I'm needy. He let out a breath, feeling relieved that he didn't seem bothered by it. In fact, it felt kind of good. He thought maybe this enthusiasm was why Cove did it so often. Wait, because one day he hoped that I would come to his house? He pushed himself up fully, swinging his legs over the side of the bed and leaving a spot for you beside him. His hands shook where he held them in his lap. He was nervous. You sat beside him happily, waiting for him to speak first. You can stay as long as you want. Really? Yeah, really. I'll go home soon. I don't have to stay. How long do you want me to stay? Can I stay the whole night?
Of course.
Aww. He smiled, feeling relieved that he had agreed, and he grinned back. You could always count on him. I've secretly slept over in your room before. It's fair you get to do it too. Yeah, that one time that you just completely fell asleep in my bedroom, and then you had to like leave the next morning. He snickered, feeling pleased with your decision to do this. Well, it looks like you might be getting the floor yet again. Okay, but there's no way I'm letting you take the floor this time. Here we go again. You rolled your eyes and let out a soft laugh, which Cove returned as he rubbed at the back of his neck. No, seriously, you can have the bed. We should just share the bed. I'll take the floor. I insist. I wouldn't mind if you took the bed. I appreciate you taking the floor, Cove. No, we should just share the bed. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Nothing is stopping us. Holding back your amusement, you tried not to grin at his bashfulness. He obviously hadn't thought it through completely, but at least he was up for it. What? We're gonna share the bed? Yeah, we're gonna share the bed. It's big enough. You have 2 pillows. I was gonna say I could take the top bunk, but there's no cushion up there. No bedding. You could hear the tremble in Ko's voice as he held his hands together to keep them from shaking. Actually, maybe not. Your eyebrows rose at how quickly he changed his mind, but when you saw how he was serious, you let out a sigh. Boy, why? We only have limited time. I'm sorry, I'll do it. I can do it. I want to do it. I just need a second. What do you need? It's not that serious. You were glad he was making the effort. You stayed calm. You felt nervous about it yourself. You're glad he was making the effort. It was an important step in your relationship, and he seemed to understand that. It only took a couple of moments longer before he turned to you, attempting a weak smile. Ready? I'm definitely ready. Let's get cozy. My girl's like... He took another deep breath and you slipped under the covers, making room for him to get in after you. Oh, am I by the wall? Laying as straight as a steel rod. Cove tensed up beside you, so still he was barely breathing at all. You rested on your side and faced him, your eyebrows pinched in the middle as you watched him. He looked back at you deeply. Nichigo. All of a sudden he started trembling and shaking more than ever, and then he scrambled out of the bed. Okay. You bolted upright, leaning back on your hands as you stared at him in shock. Are you alright? Yeah, I'll be back. I just need some more time. You're gonna act super nervous when you made a bold claim on me earlier about being horny, sir. He ran a hand through his hair in exasperation and paced around the room, breathing heavily. You were worried for him, but completely at a loss for what to do. Cove, we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything unless you're thinking we're doing something, sir. But we're not doing anything, are you? We're just sleepover. As a couple, sleepover. As though he could read your mind, he spoke again.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine, don't worry. He assured you between heavy, gasping breaths, but you were having trouble believing him. When he'd been over with his hands on his knees like he had just run a marathon, you were even more concerned. This isn't a problem, just a process. He held up a hand to reassure you, and nothing left to do, you sank back down into the bed and let him have the space he obviously needed. Okay, take all the time you need. And it did take some time for him to finish working out his nervous energy and steady his breathing to an even rhythm, but eventually he collected himself enough to relax. You tentatively glanced over at him, watching as he let out one last deep sigh before turning back to you. Can I come back still? Of course, it's your bedroom! Get in here. You chuckled softly and shuffled over to make space for him. He immediately perked up as he slipped back into bed beside you, though was still careful not to get too close. Thank you for waiting, again, as always. He laughed shyly, his soft eyes meeting yours through the dim light.
Are you okay?
Of course. I am now that you are. I'll always wait for you, Cove. It took you long enough, but it's fine now. You're not quietly. I am now that you are. He let out a deep breath, a relief written on his face. Yeah, I am. He shuffled closer an inch at a time and nuzzled his chin against the top of your head, wrapping his arms around your sides. You let him hold you. You stay like that. You grasped his shirt. You wrapped your arms around him. I think I'll wrap my arms around him. Your fingers gently brushed up and down his back as you held him close. The room grew quiet around you. The only sounds to be heard were the faraway crash of the ocean waves and your breath mingling in the small space between you. Ko's heart was pounding, the thump of it rumbling through you as he spoke again softly. You know, I'm not scared of you, right? It's just so many other feelings that scare me. I'm afraid of what if hypotheticals that aren't actually real but I think about anyway, and of the nebulous concepts of what things mean that I can barely explain to you and to myself. I'm scared of my own feelings and how much I feel them. I'm afraid because tomorrow things will be different between us, but I'll be alone again. Huh? He held onto you tighter, his breath stuttering ever so slightly. It's normal right now to see you during the day and part ways at night. Except for special occasions, or special exceptions. A little laugh escaped him before his tone became serious once more. It's easier to stay where I am than it is to make myself move, to not take a risk, and to not know what I might be missing. But he hesitated and you reached up to brush a few strands of hair from his face gently, his eyes slowly fixing on yours. When did doing the easy thing get so hard? When it comes to you, I don't know how to stay still. I want to keep taking steps forward. Honestly, when I see your face or even imagine it, I want to start sprinting. But when I try, I hit a wall. It's just like I physically can't do it on one side of my mind. There's something blocking me. And then on the other side, I absolutely can't stop myself from doing it. It never ends well.
I'm always like this.
I hate it. It's the most frustrating thing. Why do I do it every time? I'm annoyed with the way I am, so I have no idea how to stand it. I'm sorry I act so split when it comes to romantic things. I do not want you to think you're rushing me when I know I'm giving mixed signals. And I don't want to miss out on being happy about being like this, but sometimes I still can't help it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad you've never given up on me. It means a lot. It means everything to me. Alright, at least you explained this way better than you did at the soiree. Cause whatever the fuck that happened that day, I was so confused and hurt. You don't give up on me either. You've been there whenever I really needed it. It's who you are and I accept you. Smile and understanding. He hasn't given up on me either, so. Oh, he's crying again. His eyes glossed over a little as he squeezed you closer to him and smiled, his heart rate finally relaxing to a normal rhythm.
Good night.
Aw. Good night, Michiko. Good night. He leaned forward and kissed you tenderly, his hand gently moving to cradle the back of your head.
I love you.
Oh! Oh my god! Wait! I did not expect that. Wait.
I love you.
I didn't expect that. Holy fuck, we're moving so fast, but it's fine because, 10 years. We've been 10 years just being friends for so long. What? Your heart skipped a He was nervous about the other shit, but then he just so easily says, I love you. Your heart skipped a beat as Ko stared at you, his confused expression a perfect mirror of your own. And then, as if the gears had slowly turned and clicked into place in his head, his eyes widened.
Oh my god.
His mouth opened wide as he sucked in a huge breath, barely even moving a muscle. Alright, I thought the game was about to end, but I guess we'll end it here for today. Holy fuck. He said he loves us. And he didn't realize he said it, because I guess he was so moved by his own emotions. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.